How many of you are already thinking about dinner plans? Be honest, how many of you have already planned dinner, thought about dinner, know where you're going for dinner? When is dinner? Is it 11 yet? Because lunch, how many of you are thinking about school and getting people and homework and what's going to happen Monday morning? Next weekend plans? Okay, take a deep breath. So inhale and exhale. Tell me what is happening for you right now. Nothing. Good. Some of you are saying, I'm flat. I'm good.
Tired.
Tired. Okay, did the exhale make you go, oh my God? Some of you. Okay. Familiar. Okay. 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 Mindfulness is the state of being in yourself at all times. In the present. Because you're going, well, I do that. But we don't ever do it on a day-to-day basis, in the moment, because we're always 12 moments ahead. In fact, we're really socialized as a country to be ahead. How many of you, when you were 3, people asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up? My kids are 12. I keep going, I have no idea what they're going to be when they grow up. I hope they're alive. But it's funny to me, because we're supposed to start career planning, and I'm like, who knows? But we don't spend time in the moment. Okay, for a number of reasons, we're on autopilot all the time. You've all had the experience where you've driven somewhere, you don't know how you got there. And you hope that you can hit someone on the other side. Really, some of you live in the bed watching the news at night, and there's a hit and run on the street where you go down, and you're like, oh my God, go check the car. Because you know you got from one spot to the other, but you have no idea how you got there. Listening to songs, you have no idea what you heard or what you sang, if you were nodding or not, because we're always on autopilot. We go to the grocery store on autopilot. Sometimes I do homework on autopilot. The kids go, you're not paying attention. I'm like, sure I am. What was the last question? No idea. But I'm here and I'm nodding and I'm encouraging to move that pencil. We think that we can't give attention to multiple things at multiple times, and we can't. But we act like we can. How many of us multitask? You do it well? No. And when you ask, being in stage 3, you have no idea what you're multitasking on. That's probably why I stand in the pantry. Just doing something in the middle of something, doing something, and now I don't know what any of it is. Okay, but you can stay tuned in the present and be mindful in the moment. For many of us, the danger of doing that is accepting the feelings that we have while we're there. If I were to be mindful of getting up in the morning and being stressed and say, Grace, I'm in my stress, that would make us still not want to get out of bed. But it is the best way to sort of start breathing, paying attention to where we are, and being present in the moment. When you're present and fully present and not anxious or worried, you have a better lifestyle. All of that gets supported with family support, so we'll turn it over and I'll say more. Yeah, question.
Hello. So, Abram again. This is my wife Lindsay over here. She's my family support. So here in Indianapolis, I'm a therapist, and I do a lot of work with. Our daughter has a JIA also. We're here at the conference. We've been to 3 now, I think, right? Orlando was kind of, we're like, oh, there's a conference on arthritis. We should totally think about going to that. And we just drove over there, and we wound up here, and now we get the pleasure of trying to help out and talk. But we talk about in my practice, I do a lot of family work, right? So family dynamics, finding support in the environment that we're in, right? And so the only slide that I have. Oh, here we go. Being mindful of support systems. Okay, yes. So is the house. And so you need to stay on the mic. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's super hard. Yeah. So this is going to be a metaphor, and what I like metaphors when I practice, because we're all a bunch of adolescents, And we need pictures. We need metaphors to help us move through really stressful, hard situations. This one is in particular, I'm obviously going to be an advocate of therapy because I'm a therapist. And so we have a great therapist, and this is part of some of the stuff that she taught us too, and this is kind of my own, kind of going into this and adding my own little flair to it too. The house metaphor is about our families. So I want you to go down this road with me for a minute. I want you to imagine that your house has this, right? The porch, the kitchen, the living room, and in between, there's this little hallway, okay? And in this hallway, we don't want to start with the hallway, we'll start with the porch, sorry. The porch itself, it's a place where you might meet a salesman, right? The porch it's got a door, so it protects the rest of your house. It doesn't, you can't get into the house, it's got a door, it's nice and comfy inside there, but at the porch, you can talk to people and meet them there, and they can talk to you, and you can some people pull up a chair and they're nice enough to sit there and have a conversation with people on the porch, right? The porch this is the definition of, like, when you're looking for support, we need to define that, right? And the porch is the definable relationship of, I always tell people, like, you meet a business colleague, and you don't know much about them, but you kind of have a hey, how you doing relationship, oh good, see you later kind of stuff, you know? And when we're dealing with chronic illness and stress, we need to know, and we need to know how to categorize the people that are in our lives. So that when we need something, when we need help, we know where to go and how to get there. And on the porch people we don't go to. The porch people, they need to stay on the porch, right? Because they don't know much about us. They don't know much about our situation. They don't know much about the family that's behind the door, right? A lot of times when we're super stressed out, we forget who's on the porch, who's in the living room, who's in the kitchen. And we sometimes go to a porch person, and or a porch person might see us like in the corner crying. And they're like, oh, can I help you? You're like, yes. And you're like, oh no, wait, no, you can't. Because they don't know. Sometimes it's good to not know, right? But for the porch people in particular, we want to keep them there. Then there's the living room. Now the living room people, these guys, they come into the house maybe, and they sometimes don't notice the shoe rule, if there's a shoe rule, right? They're like, oh, I just forgot to take my shoes off, even though there's like 20 other people in here with their shoes on. With their shoes off, sorry. Or they, let's see, what else do they do? They come in and you serve them water, right? You give them food. Like you invite them over for dinner, they come over to the house, you set the table, they all sit down. You see, the metaphor is that you are serving them, right? And you're giving them things, and you're helping them out, and they're asking you for advice. And so in this metaphor of looking for the people to take care of us, the living room individuals, right, they really are taking from you a lot. And so like as we go further into this metaphor, I want you to start kind of thinking about the people in your life and where they would fit into this, right? And so with my clients, I take a big whiteboard out and I draw a house. And I say, okay, so tell me who goes where, right? Because we need to really cognitively start realizing who really supports us, who wants to take care of us, who wants to be in our life, who wants to get messy, right? So in the living room, you might sit down. You notice in the living room, right? You usually say, "Oh, just leave the dishes. Let's go back in the living room. Let's keep our conversation going. You can ask me more questions." Right? Something like that. But sometimes in the living room, it gets a little. There's like an in-between mark. Does that make sense? That's the hallway. The hallway is like they're almost in the kitchen because they've kind of like started asking about you, and they've kind of started wondering about you. But we're going to go to the kitchen next, just so that you get where that is, right? I always say the kitchen are the people. I don't know, maybe you don't have people like this in your life, but the kitchen are the people that like know the garage door code. And you hear the garage door going up, and you're like, okay, well, either we're going to all die, or it's going to be, it's going to be my wife, or whatever it is. No. For us, there's a young lady called Marley. Marley walks in the house, and she'll see that. Well, actually, she doesn't like her. This metaphor doesn't work for her. But let's just say somebody else, because Marley doesn't work. Sorry. But let's say this person comes into your house and they see you chopping onions, And they know that you don't like chopping onions, so what do? They grab the knife and they start chopping onions for you. But then they're even way more involved in your life because they actually know like where your knife sharpener is, and they care enough to stop and notice that you're about ready to chop your fingers off because it's not sharp enough. So they're going to sharpen your knife for you, right? And so they get done with the onions, but they don't just stop there. What do? They ask, "What else can I do? Right? What else can I do for you?" Or they know that maybe you're not taking care of yourself well enough, so they get you a glass of water and they water you, right? They're really, really invested. And so, interestingly enough, they came in the house and they didn't start the conversation with, "Oh, I just got to unload," even though it would have been fine if they did that, because you would have known that they would have asked you how you were doing, right? These people, I always say the kitchen is the most, it should be rare, it should be small, because kitchen takes a lot of work. Right? The kitchen people, it's a give and a take constantly, and it's a really big deal to have kitchen people. You got to have it. It's a defining of self, right? When we get lost, we have to go to, I always tell people, who's in your kitchen? Feeling lost today? Feeling stressed out? Feeling like you don't know why you're in the pantry, and you gotta call somebody and figure out why was I in the pantry? And they'll be like, "Well, you may have been looking for this." You're like, "How do you know that?" Because I'm in the kitchen, right? Guys, I don't know about you, but let me just bring a reference up to Humera for a minute. One of the most traumatic things in our life was Humera. Me having to hold my baby down with my legs are over the top of her, and I'm holding, and she's asking me to hold her down. And at this point, I just want to say, like, the male anger rage thing is super big, And I'm like kind of, and I was I was in a previous life, like 4 months ago, a full-time youth minister, and I could think of myself like, I'm cursing out God. No, don't worry about it. I'm okay with that. And so the idea of like holding her down there, and that stuff going through my mind, trying to figure out like what is going on in my life, and who in the world is going to understand this, and feeling so lost in that, like, here's Lindsay, and she's crying. My 6-year-old is in, like, we have our bedroom, and she's on the other side of it, and she's banging on the piano. And we all know why she's banging on the piano. I want to be banging on the piano, And so, y'all can't be alone in this. You can't, this is not a thing that you go down a road by yourselves. So that's why this is so remarkably important for us. We have to start defining where people go in our lives. So that when we are expecting a living room person to be in the kitchen, and all of a sudden we're like, well, why aren't these people loving me the way I need to? You realize, oh, that's right, they're in the living room. You can form that relationship, but we can't go to that relationship and ask for something they can't give. Right? That's why I say that there's this weird spot in between the kitchen and the living room. Right? There's this hallway. And we can't, like, these people kind of like wander back and forth. They're like starting to learn where where the cups are in the kitchen. They're starting just to get the idea that you don't actually feel that like awkward about them taking care of themselves because you're a little busy taking care of a lot of other stuff. Right? They're starting to get that when they were asking you for something, you tuned out because you're stressed. Right? They start reading you. They're in the in-between, right? And you start kind of getting energy there. You start building those relationships. At the same time, though, and I'm going to say this very fervently, we have to protect the kitchen. You can't have too many kitchen relationships, because what happens with too many kitchen relationships is burnout. Right? If we have too many people to take care of, well, then we're in the same boat that we were already in with overload with our chronically ill children, right? And everything that brings along with us. So the metaphor of the house, as you go forward, and I actually think this is super important for our kids, especially for our teenagers, right? As they get into that developmental stage and they're wondering, why am I losing so many friends? Why won't I go over to this person and try and figure out why they're not fitting into my life? Help them out with the house. Help them out, help them understand where that is. But also, Like, learn to get into that kitchen when there's so much fatigue that you just can't get up in the morning. Learn that